What's going on, guys? I'm back with another 31 Days of Halloween review, and today we're doing a cult classic and what kickstarted Tim Burton in his style, Beetlejuice. After Barbara and Adam Maitland die in a car accident, they find themselves stuck haunting their country residents, unable to leave the house. When the unbearable Deets and their teen daughter Lydia buy the home, the Maitlands attempt to scare them away without success. Their efforts to track Beetlejuice, a rambunctious spirit whose quote-unquote help quickly becomes dangerous for the Maitlands and the innocent Lydia. So right off the bat, this film is super over the top and simply screams Tim Burton. It's very odd, being a true one-of-a-kind where it isn't necessarily made to be taken extremely seriously because it's so much fun and it's goofy. Beetlejuice is very creative and energetic, where the best quality of it may just be that the fact that it wasn't taken seriously. But you can certainly tell that everyone involved cared about it and how it came out. It may be advertised as a family flick, where it totally has some lighthearted moments for the family, but what's under the surface is a fairly dark tale with loads of dark humor and layered jokes made more for the adults. When it comes to the actual story, maybe I'm just thinking too deep into it, but I appreciated the fact that they put a nice spin on the common horror presence of a haunted house theme, but we mainly get to follow the ghost than the actual people living in the house, although we do get bits of that as well. But with that aside, I don't even think that was the main focus. I think this film mainly succeeded on its world building and overall look. Usually with a wacky world with creative characters, it spawns off many sequels and turns into a franchise, but up until this year anyways, this was a solo film and really stood out because of it, having a very distinguishable look and feel to it. The production design really shines bright in this film, arguably being the star of the show, having these wild and crazy set pieces, coupled with these insane puppet designs, animatronics, and stop motion effects that complemented the theme so well. The look of this film is so stylish, with all these different colors, where truthfully, it feels like you're on shrooms half the time, with all the wackiness going on. The effects range from below average to actually decent, but it works well because of how zany things are, and Burton said himself, that's what he was going for. Although the look of the film was mainly the selling point, this film wouldn't have succeeded nearly as much as it did without the help of the amazing cast all around, but the backbone of the flick was definitely Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. This is truly one of those trademark castings that would be extremely hard to replace, where Keaton brings so much energy to the role behind all of his mannerisms and over-the-top antics. The script as a whole was definitely well thought out. It wasn't just a bunch of dumb jokes being thrown at the wall to see what sticks, but you can definitely tell Keaton adds an extra layer to them and his delivery, taking things up to 11, being extremely funny, and really playing into the dark humor.
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it!
And to complement his actions, insert his character design. The way the creative team sculpted up his makeup and costume design is nothing short of wild, yet amazing and creative. He really looked like what the demon looked like in the well-known film The Exorcist, where the makeup was so well done where it got the nod at the Academy Awards.
Nice fucking model!
When it comes to our two leads, you can't help but find them very charming and recognize their chemistry, where they're very easy to follow and root for as well. Both of their performances were well handled, complementing each other very well, where they too enhanced the crazy script to another level due to their delivery and reactions to Keaton. As for the Deets family that moves in, they too are very over the top, but do such a good job complementing the tone this film was going for, really hammering away at that wackiness and facilitating the plot. Although this film is tons of fun, it for sure doesn't come without some flaws at least. My main issue with the film is its logic. It's tough to really get into it without spoiling the film, but there's countless times where this film contradicts itself, going against what they're trying to practice with certain rules, being quite inconsistent at times. Just as a silly example, the film is called Beetlejuice, and for one, they can't decide how they want to spell it, and two, he's really only in about 15 minutes of the film. My next issue comes with the story. I'm all for a simple plot, but this one simply doesn't take too many risks, and even before all that, doesn't really do much at all. As I said before, this almost strictly feels like the praise comes from the world building and the wackiness. It attempts to add some context here and there by giving us some subplots, where some do work, but others really don't, and it kind of takes away with what could have been. And that leads me into my last issue, and that's with the people characters, but mainly our two leads. I know, let me explain myself. I feel mostly that their chemistry is well pronounced, but they're not extremely fleshed out, nor is the family. The only one that gets some development is Winona Ryder, but it really wasn't all that much more, nor was I super invested in her character. Overall, this film is far from perfect, but is still extremely fun and well recognized amongst many. Beetlejuice gets a firm 6 out of 10 from me. Let me know what you think of Beetlejuice in the comments below, and let me know what film you'd like me to review next. See you guys on the next one.